In Witnessing Mind, we have a phrase that I like to use. We say, not needing things to be different and knowing they won't stay the same. We become present to what is. We'll begin your Ujjayi breath. Start to sound that feeling tone in the back of the throat in the inner ear. As you're listening for the sound, see if you can make the throat a little bit more hollow, a little bit wider in the back. Maybe the roof of the mouth a little bit more vaulted, a little bit more raised. Without tension, perhaps the base of the tongue a little bit deeper. So the space for the throat becomes more hollow, more open, even just a few degrees. Now imagining the shape of the throat that you use in Ujjayi, the shape similar to yawning, that shape can also be the shape you're using when you say, Om. Even when you say, Lam. So even during the vibration, even if it's an M sound, that the throat is hollow, there's a place of great vibration inside the mouth, which is influencing the thyroid, and then up through the upper palate, it's also influencing the pineal and the pituitary glands. And so please bring your hands together at your heart, and we'll chant in call and response. Om Namo Om Namo Gurudev Namo Gurudev Namo Om Namo Om Namo Gurudev Namo Gurudev Namo Om Namo Gurudev Namo Om Namo Gurudev Namo Om Namo Om Namo Om Namo. So Om, meaning the universal sound. Namo, I humble myself to that which is greater than I am. Om Namo, Guru, the principle that moves us from darkness to light, from forgetting to remembering. Devo, Om Namo Guru Dev. Dev meaning the creative spark, the divine, the movement of life. And then Namo again, I humble myself to that. So with humility, may that which brings us from darkness to light, may it have a creative force through us. May it express itself, not only on our own behalf, we're at the fifth chakra, so really it's a feeling of service to others too. May this creativity come through our life and our speech, our actions, and may it be kind of a role model or an example for others. May you bow your head to your heart. Release your hands. Open your eyes. I'd like you to take the right arm around behind the small of your back. You can hold the left elbow and roll your right shoulder up and back. And in the back position, take the shoulder back and think of your elbow as not going back. So it's not that you're moving the elbow to try to move the shoulder. Move your shoulder directly. And then tip your left ear towards your left shoulder. And bring your chin towards your right collarbone. And then bring your chin up away from your collarbone. So keeping your head on this diagonal, so the left ear is heavy towards your left shoulder. When you open your chin away from your throat, you're moving your cervical spine into extension. When you bring it in, you're bringing your cervical spine into flexion. Try also drawing the low belly in when your chin comes in. And keeping that stable, open your throat once again on the right side. And then exhale, bring your chin in towards your right collarbone. Keep the low belly toned. And one more time. And exhale to draw in. And release your right arm. Let's take the right arm out to the side. Turn your palm face up. Rotate your palm towards the ceiling. Like make an extra effort for your thumb to roll back. And bring your chin in towards your right collarbone. Bring it up and away. Bring your chin to neutral. Place your left hand on the floor nearby and raise your right arm overhead. Now, if you press into your left hand, it's going to help you to root your right hip back towards the blanket and make the C shape deliberately in your torso and think of even towards your upper torso. Keeping your chin moderately in towards your throat, not extremely. Let the left ear get heavy towards your left shoulder. And now exhale, turn your right palm towards the sky, open your right arm and gaze down past your left shoulder. And inhale, raise your right arm up, rotate your gaze up. Exhale, open. So you imagine clearing your mind, your throat, your heart. Gaze down towards the floor past your left shoulder. And inhale to open again. Raise up and gaze up. And this time let's exhale. Use the right low belly to rise up to sitting. Release your right arm out to the side. Thank you. Take the left arm around. Okay, now here, roll the left shoulder back, and the left elbow comes like a tiny bit forward. So it should feel like you're really trying to move your shoulder joint. Okay. Tip your right ear towards your right shoulder. Bring your chin in towards your collarbone. And then up and away from your collarbone. And down and in. So keep your right ear heavy towards your right shoulder and the left shoulder rolled back. Breathe it in. You're doing good things for yourself. And it won't just be for your own benefit. We might not know how it's going to get expressed today, but as you do good things for yourself, just let there be no sort of story that you're somehow not allowed to. Let this be a time of really great self-nurturance. Bring your chin in towards your collarbone. And now look for the place that you think of as neutral. So your head and neck together are neutral. Raise your left arm out to the side. Turn your palm face up. Roll your thumb down towards the floor. Place your right hand for support and rise up. Yeah, good. Enjoy the side bend. Exaggerate it in the left side waist and upper chest and rib cage. And then exhale, open your left arm, turn your palm face down, gaze down past your right shoulder. Inhale, raise up and gaze up. Exhale to open. Inhale, rise up, rotate your head up. When you exhale, imagine you're clearing out the mind stuff, the vrittis, clearing out your throat and your heart. And inhale, raise your left arm, bringing in good things, vitality, opportunity, willingness. And once more, open it to the side, gaze down. Okay, last one, inhale, raise your left arm up, look past your left arm. Exhale, use your left low belly to rise up to sitting. Notice how your neck and shoulders are feeling. Okay, we're going to take the hands up with the inhale and down with the exhale. So it's a brisk kind of pranayama. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now reach up, inhale. And exhale, push out. Rest your hands in your lap and relax your mind completely. Okay, cross both hands around the small of your back. Try to cross your wrists back there. The shoulders are back. When you cross your wrists, you may have a feeling that it's hard to do that. One shoulder might be tighter than the other. And roll the shoulders back. Inhale, look up. Press your wrists against the back of your sacrum. Raise your chin up. And then exhale, bring your chin down, bring your torso upright, and draw the low belly in. Again, inhale to go up. So you can press your wrists against the sacrum, roll the shoulders back, look up, lift your chin. Exhale from the chin, start gazing down, tone the low belly, make your spine more vertical, more upright. And again, inhale to go up. And exhale to a vertical position. So we'll go twice more. In the upward action, we are doing a back bend. So inhale, press your wrists against your sacrum, roll the shoulders back, raise your chin. Exhale, come to vertical, chin in towards your throat. One more time. Inhale to go up. And exhale. Release your hands from that position. Rest them out over your knees. Notice what's happening from your throat and your neck down through your shoulders to your hands. And then again, we're going to be going up with the inhale, down with the exhale. And then we'll repeat the back bend that we were just doing. Let's begin. Inhale up and exhale, push out. Rest your hands on your knees. And deeply relax. And sense just the slightest ujjayi breath, not something ferocious or demanding, but subtle. Take your hands behind you again and cross the other wrist in first. Press your wrists against each other and against the sacrum. So whichever is the outer wrist is pressing in on the inner wrist, and that one's pressing against the sacrum. And then inhale to go up. Exhale, gaze down, bring the spine upright. Imagine the upward movement starts at the first chakra, going up like the beads on a mala. And exhale. 3 times more. Try to sense the smoothness with which you're moving and the stillness of the pauses. So in both exhale pause and inhale pause, listen for the stillness in those moments. When you complete 5 rounds, then rest your hands again back in your lap. And use the most subtle ujjayi breath. So your concentration, which we need for witness mind, the concentration can go very subtle right now. And keeping your awareness in the subtle body, we are going to transition. So let's take a blanket for the two knees and a block. We're going to go back to a practice we did on Sunday in the 10 a.m. class. So please do pad your knees, particularly if you're on the back deck and it's made of wood. Let me recommend that how you pad your knees, we fold this lengthwise blanket like so, and place the knees up on the blanket so that you know that your feet are going to end up lower than your knees are in this position. And then come over so that you're going to place, and I'll show you with my left elbow because it's easier for you to see that elbow. We're going to be placing the elbow in the center of the block so that when you come back like this, your elbow is not going to fall off the block. So if you start with your elbow in the center right there, then draw your hips back. Place your left hand on your left shoulder blade or your left shoulder. Relax the weight of your head. We can keep the right hand on the floor nearby to help with some of the balancing of the effort in the pose. Reach back through both hips, but especially check that you're lengthening your left side waist. Open the left shoulder, the left armpit, yes, the left tricep, all of those things. And then place your right forearm on the floor next to underneath your right shoulder. And we're going to inhale and press down into the right palm. Reach forward, open your left hand. It's like a variation on the cow pose. And then exhale, reach back. Touch your left hand to your left shoulder and your right elbow to the floor. And inhale, come forward. Make the right arm strong. Open your left hand. And exhale to reach back. Inhale, rise forward. It's almost like the left hand is making or receiving an offering. And exhale, reach back. One more time, inhale to reach forward. Now keep your right arm strong and place your left palm firmly on its block. So you're changing the rotation of the spine here with the left hand higher than the right hand. Inhale to cat pose. Exhale, come forward through your spine to cow pose. I know that might feel awkward. Now inhale again to cat pose. Exhale to the cow pose. Bring your heart forward. The vertebrae are rotating to your left. Let's go once more to the cat. Make your left arm strong now. And as you exhale, reach forward to cow pose. Raise your right arm up. And then inhale, come down to the cat pose. Press your right arm firmly down. And exhale to cow pose. And inhale to cat pose. Exhale to cow pose. And last time, inhale to the cat pose. Keep your left arm steady. And then exhale and roll your hips back to your heels. Drop your elbows to the floor just in front of your blanket. Relax the weight of your head. This is called child's pose. Come up to kneeling in Vajrasana and just take notice how one arm or shoulder or one side of your face feels different than the other. Okay, and then take the block and move it over to your right elbow. Okay, and come over to your knees like table pose or puppy dog pose. Place the back of your right elbow on the center of the block so when you reach back, you're not going to tip the block over. We can start with the left hand on the floor for support. Reach your hips back, and we'll use the Ujjayi breath so there's a subtle, ongoing concentration. Witnessing the sensations of your body is a way to witness when then sensation might become emotion, or emotion might become thought. So we can practice witnessing the sensations, observing them, not in a detached and uncaring way, but witnessing without trying to change or coerce something, witnessing and learning from it. And so you can walk your left elbow down to the floor. That's going to change the rotation of the thoracic spine. Press into your left palm, and let's come forward. Inhale forward like a cow pose. And exhale, reach back. Inhale, reach forward. Open your right palm like you're giving or receiving an offering. Exhale. Drop your hand back to your right shoulder, your left elbow to the floor. Once more, please. And exhale back. Now inhale and come forward. Place your right palm on the block. It's going to make it feel like your arm is quite a bit longer on the right side. Please inhale to your cat pose. And exhale to cow pose. I know I feel awkward. Inhale to cat. Exhale to cow pose. Okay, one more time. Inhale to cat pose. And now exhale, raise your left arm up to cow pose. And inhale to cat pose. Exhale, cow pose. Got to level the spine when you're here. So when you're moving into cat pose and cow pose, at the end, when you put your palm down, you feel the rotation of the spine. And then as you come forward, level the spine here. Once more, cat pose. And once more, cow pose. And then reach back and touch your elbows down to the floor, just in front of your blanket if you can. Drop your hips to your heels. And then walk your hands back towards your knees and rise up to kneeling. Okay, you're doing good things. So let's put the block aside. Keep your knees on your blanket. We're going to include the lion's breath pose like we did yesterday, and we're going to make it into a little sequence here. So if this is where you like your child's pose to be on your mat, I'm backing up a little bit. And of course, you can stay where you are if you want to, or back up. And check and see if you come forward to pranam, And you come forward to cow pose. This is where you'd like to be. If you were going to then step one hand forward, drop the elbow down, rise up like that. The other hand forward, drop the elbow down, rise up, and like so. So check that you're where you want to be on your blanket and your mat right there. Okay. Turn your palms face out. Inhale, raise up. Now, keeping your hips on your heels, exhale. Come forward slowly, like your hands are an arrow. That's going to require your lower belly. Okay, and let's do that again. From where you're kneeling, you're going to inhale, raise the arms up, put the palms together like an arrow. And exhale, come forward slowly. So you touch down, you had to use the belly. Now inhale, slide forward with your palms to pranam. Okay, and exhale, undulate forward to cow pose. Inhale, right hand forward. Exhale, left elbow down. Inhale, rise up, table pose. Exhale, pranam. Inhale, undulate forward to cow pose. Exhale, left hand forward. Inhale, right elbow down. Exhale, table pose. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, palms like an arrow, bring them back together. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, push out. Turn your palms face out at the bottom and inhale, rise up. Exhale, come forward like an arrow. Inhale, slide your hands forward and undulate up to the cow pose. Lion's breath. Inhale, cat. Cow pose with lion's breath. Inhale, cat. Cow pose with lion's breath. Once more, inhale, cat. Now inhale, right hand forward. Exhale, left elbow down. Inhale, rise up, one arm cow pose. Exhale to cat pose. Inhale, table pose. Take your left hand forward. Exhale, right elbow down. Inhale, one arm cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow pose. Pranam. Join the palms like an arrow as you inhale. And this time, exhale, rise up to your arrow position in Vajrasana. And inhale, push up and out. And then exhale, relax both arms. Rest your hands over your knees. Keeping your knees grounded. Thank you for following that. So what you can sense with the fifth chakra is that there is a connection into the second chakra. And in each chakra, the second and the fifth, there is this surge of creativity. Like in the second chakra, this improvisation, this fluidity of life, right? The water element. In the fifth chakra, that creativity wants to express itself and in service to others, not just like a discovery of the creative force, but now how is it also in service to others? So we're improvising through movements that challenge the neck and shoulders and the throat. Keeping the knees grounded, step your right foot forward to the proposal pose. That is the name, yes. Take the tailbone down and the pubic bone up. So you're going to feel into your left hip flexors there. So in this position, if the hip flexors are tight or the lumbar spine feels like it's consistently lordotic or the psoas is tight, when you're working here to bring integrity to the structure, it's a support from the first to the second to the third chakra that becomes a support to the upper chakras. So press your right hand down against your right knee and see if that helps to stabilize the work you're doing of lifting the left low belly in and up. With your left arm forward, we'll do the palm face up. And then inhale, raise your left arm and look up without distorting the lower part of your pose. Keep the right palm pressing firmly down against your right thigh. Lift the inner body. As your heart goes upwards, consider a little back bend in the heart, your shoulder blades, your collarbones, and your throat. And then exhale, connect to the low belly and bring yourself upright. Release your left arm out to the side. And let's walk the right foot forward. You can do the inchworm method, which is what I'm showing. And then glide your hips forward and bring your left hand down to the floor, in my case, to the deck. And when you're gliding forward now, invite the left hip to glide forward, but without the feeling that you're sort of hammocking in or becoming lax in your right hip. Press your right hand down against your right knee and tone the inner left belly. So you're still lifting the inner belly towards the sacrum. And say good morning to your left hip flexors. And begin to bend your left knee. Reach back with your right hand to hold your left toes. Rotate your belly to the right, turn your chest and heart to the right. Roll your right shoulder back. Gaze over your right chest and shoulder. Let's keep the right foot grounded so your right thigh should remain steady. And then release your left toes back down. Place your hands on the floor and let's take the left leg, raise it up, straighten your right leg, left knee, raise your left knee, not the whole leg. Straighten your right knee, whatever amount you can do right now. And we'll place the palms. If possible, of course, you can use your blocks. Think of the spine a little bit more like cat pose right now. So we're snuggling in and down towards the right leg. Energize your right outer hip, your right hamstring, your right thigh. And now bend your right knee. Let's go back in our memory to the one-arm cow pose. Take a baby step with your left toes forward. Second baby step if you need to. You're going to go over the hurdle of the blanket. Place your fingertips forward. And as you step forward, press into your right leg, your left fingertips, and reach your right arm forward. Notice how you stabilize here. The hips are level. You can gaze down towards the floor. Lift your left leg only about horizontal to the floor. So we're not actually trying to arch the lower back here. And place the right fingertips in line with the left. Bend your right knee. Look back where the left toes are going behind your little speed bump, your hurdle. Walk the fingertips back and step over your hurdle, your speed bump, to go back to downward dog pose. And then bring your knees down to your blanket. And step the left foot forward to the proposal pose. When the left foot comes forward, we'll start with the left shin vertical. Press your left palm down, lift the low belly in and up. Lift the top of the right hip bone. It's called the anterior superior iliac spine. So those bones are here, high up. Lift that right hip bone up so that your right hip flexors are saying good morning. Let's turn the right palm up and inhale to go up. Remember, we're looking for integrity in the lower hemisphere of the body and really up into the third chakra. So this feeling of back bending is going to come into the fourth chakra, the heart and the collarbones. Go up and let it emerge slowly. And then exhale, use the right low belly to bring your torso upright. Release your right hand, inchworm the left foot forward, whatever your method is, and come down. And keep the left hand against your left knee. So you are actually pressing down there to help continue to stabilize the inner belly. Tone your right butt muscle so that as your right hip comes forward, it is opening, but we're not lax on the left hip. And the right butt being toned is going to send a signal to your right hip flexors that they have permission to open. It's called reciprocal muscle inhibition. You tone one side of a muscle group, and the other side says, oh, it's our turn to open. And now as you gaze a little bit to your left, bend your right knee, reach for your toes. Kind of to distort the lower body once again so it's really stable. Begin to lower the right toes down. And as you go to straighten your right leg, lift your knee, straighten the left leg, place your fingertips. Of course, you can use your blocks. You start with fingertips, but then let that become your flat palms and curl your spine towards the cat pose spine. Again, bring your awareness to the sensation so you're witnessing this kind of ever unfolding process your body is going through right now. Remind yourself of the earlier experiences in cow pose and the one-arm cow pose. I'd like you to inhale smoothly using the Ujjayi breath, and then exhale and start bending your left knee. At a certain point here, you're going to take a baby step with the right toes. You might take 2 baby steps. Then you've got that hurdle, your blanket to step over. Place your hands ahead of you, hands and blocks if you're using them. And as you step forward with the right leg, this is called Ekapada Uttanasana. We're going to call it Hasta Ekapada Uttanasana. So Hasta means one hand, Ekapada is one foot. Now let's exhale and see if we can come into Uttanasana. So place your left fingertips in line with your right and your right foot in line with your left. And bow deeply towards your legs. Shift your hands to your hips and please rise up to standing. We're going to step into pranayama. We'll just do 1 through. I'm going to move my mat back. I have not yet trimmed the grapes. You might think, well, why don't you just trim them? I walk away from the class so blissed out, I forget I have to trim these. Join your palms together at your heart, please. So stabilize at the root. Second. Stabilize at the 3rd chakra so your energy has the chance to go upwards. We're not flimsy here in the mid-torso. With your Ujjayi breath, inhale your hands down, palms out, rise up. Exhale, sit down to chair pose. Now inhale, raise your heels in this chair pose. Exhale, lower the heels. Inhale, rise up, tippy toe back bend. Exhale, bow forward and come down to Uttanasana. Lower the heels slowly. You'll find your way. Inhale, glide forward, open your heart, and then your throat, and then your gaze. Exhale, left toes back. Inhale to rise. Exhale, descend. Take your time. Inhale, downward dog. Exhale, plank pose. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale to the structural part of seal pose. Glide your hips forward, keep your legs energized, shoulders back. And then inhale to light it up. Exhale, plank pose. Inhale, downward facing dog pose. Exhale, left foot forward. Keep the right toes grounded behind you. Inhale to rise. Exhale, descend. Inhale, step forward, heart forward. And exhale to bow towards your legs. Inhale, rise up and look up. And exhale to the heart. Come to mountain pose. Let both arms relax. Please come onto your back, sit down and have one block close by. We're going to do one practice here that's very opening, and then we're going to be going to Shavasana. So I want this block to be on the tall setting like this. And so this is the length of my block, and I'm putting it, so the length is going this way. The second edge of the block is the important edge. The first edge is less critical. So where you're going to end up here is very important. So when you sit in front of the block, start sitting so that if you put the first edge of the block at the base of your shoulder blades, you feel the block actually fits kind of between the shoulder blades if you bring the elbows towards each other. You're going to be holding on to your head, hands clasped. You'll raise the hips up. I'm hoping that you have firm blocks, not flimsy blocks. So when you raise the hips up, it's like reverse table pose, and you're very stable on the block. It's not going to tip over. And then you have the upper back on that other edge of the block. Start taking the head back. Reach your arms long like an arrow. So where the block touches now on the upper thoracic spine is between the upper corners of your shoulder blades. Keep the tailbone lengthening towards your knees. And begin to lower your hips down. Reach your hands again to hold the back of your head. As you're lowering your hips down, you're going to feel the first edge of the block against the bottom of your shoulder blades. And that might feel very tender for some of you. Roll up, reach your arms forward, rise up, reach back for the block, set it aside, and come down to Shavasana. When you come down to Shavasana, let your mind get really still. You just had this opening for the chest, heart, and throat. So close your eyes and take your gaze down to the second chakra and let the mind get really still. This Shavasana is going to precede a bit of pranayama. So really important that your mind is not wandering away from you or dissipating the practice that you just had. And keep your mind at rest in the second chakra. You're not looking for anything in particular. It's the place to keep the eyes and the mind at home. Svadhisthana is the seat of the self. we have this opportunity here for healing. So again, keep the mind very steady. The process of integration from your practice is underway. You stay with the witnessing mind. Wandering mind is not right now recommended. So keeping the mind in the second chakra, begin to bring awareness of the throat as well. And while you're resting, start rotating your head just very slowly to the right and very slowly to your left. Invite that to also feel restful. When you return to center, then roll to your side. And rest there a few moments as you prefer. And then return to your seat, please. Come into your meditation seat. Just come to your ujjayi breath and notice the shape of the throat, particularly. If you're able to make it a little bit more hollow. The shape of the throat in ujjayi is like the shape when you're about to have a big yawn. So invite the back of the throat to be hollow. This might mean that your upper and lower jaw are parted, even though the lips are touching. And you can bring the hands up for Bhramari. So place your index fingers over your eyebrows, the middle and ring finger over the eyelids. You're going to close your ears with your thumbs. We'll inhale through the nose. There's no pressure on the nose. And then we exhale with the M sound of humming. Please close the ears as you hum. You release your hands down. And rest your hands in your lap, returning to your seat, the seat of the self at the second chakra. Place your mind at the first chakra. Lam. Second. Wam. Third. Ram. Fourth. Yum. Fifth. Um. Raise your hands to Anjali Mudra. And bow your head to your heart, resting your thumbs at the sixth chakra. And then down to the heart. May the creative force of life come through us today in service to others. May we use our speech to communicate wisdom, willingness. Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste. Make an offering to each other, please. And also out to your neighbors, to your community, and to your actual neighbors, which I am seeing. Thank you for being here this morning. I will come up to see you for a bit.